Let's take a look at the chart action for Dogecoin. Alright, so in my last couple videos, we've been watching this uptrend going something like this. We were watching this trend line right here, and I said until we break this to the downside, I'm expecting it to go up, and we actually broke it to the downside. Alright, so now what we're doing, like in my last YouTube short video, I think it was, I did a Fibonacci from the bottom to the top, something like this, so that gives us some levels to watch. I like watching the 38% level and the 50% level. I suggest you do this on your own chart and you can see the levels a little bit better on TradingView. So these are the levels that we got, and so like I said, I like to watch the 38% level and the 50% level. I actually dollar cost average back even at the 23. I put limit orders on basically all of them. I have limit orders at least on these top three right here. This one already got filled, and then this one's going to be the next one, and then this one's going to be the next one. These levels are sitting at around .292 and .273. Let me know what you guys think about that. But I know we're breaking this downtrend right here, and we're looking for some bounces on these levels, right? Let's look at some other charts to kind of that why I'm thinking that Dogecoin is still not, I don't know, it might either get a bigger correction to the downside, or we're still on an uptrend in regards of a few different things. So let's go to Dogecoin to Bitcoin. So we had been watching, just to recap, we'd been watching this big downtrend for a long time, and then we broke above that downtrend, and now we're on this uptrend going this way. So we're watching this trend line basically right here, and until we break this trend line going to the downside, I'm assuming that it's going to continue going up. Right now we're testing it though. It's not impossible that we break below it and we have to come down and get support on these levels. So I'm not guaranteeing that this is going to hold support. I'm just saying that we haven't broken this yet. So let's keep an eye on this one. This is Dogecoin to Bitcoin. If we go to Dogecoin to Ethereum, pretty much the same thing, except this one's even looking slightly better. It's not even really that close to the trend line that's going upwards. So we had a big, huge downward wedge, downward triangle, something like that. And we got a breakout to the upside right here. I was watching this downtrend, we were watching this downtrend, something like this. We broke that right here. So now we're watching this uptrend going something like that. And we are still riding that uptrend, or we haven't broken below it, like I said. It's possible that we break below them, but we haven't done it yet. And I guess we have gotten like a double top right here, but let's see. I'm kind of wondering still if we can do something like this and maybe have to test this line somewhere up here a couple times. This is sitting at I don't know. This is the Dogecoin to Ethereum chart, so you're just gonna have to look it up. But yeah, so I'm thinking that maybe we're gonna have to test this area right here, and hopefully this uptrend like this keeps holding support. I'm not guaranteeing that it is, but let's see if it does. So, but the other thing, like I said, we haven't broken below it yet. I mean, it's possible. We haven't broken below it yet, so I'm still thinking that it's possible we get support on it, is what I'm thinking. Alright, let's go to the total crypto market cap, and we can kind of look at this as well. And this is really going to be more general, crypto in general. If we break below this trend line right here, if we break this trend line going to the downside, we haven't done it yet, but if we do, this is going to look like a big correction. I mean, or a pretty decent correction. Look at everything's pretty much red right now. If you look at these are all cryptos right here, everything's pretty much red. So even just this little move right here is, depending on what coin you're looking at, can cause some pretty craziness. So if we break below this trend line right here, this might even cause some more craziness. We might have to come back down and retest this 1.5. It seems like we came up to this 1.88 trillion pretty fast. We hit 2 trillion right there again. If we go back to the daily, yeah, did we hit 3 trillion? No, it's 2.5, somewhere up here. That's where we kind of maxed out at. So we're looking at like 2 trillion, 2.5 trillion. That's kind of interesting. So we're going to have to wait and see. We're still in this upwards channel though, in my opinion. We haven't broken that downtrend. So let's see if we can continue to hold support on it. Like I said, anything's possible, but we haven't broken below it yet. And if we do, I guess we could do a Fibonacci retracement on this as well. Let's drag from the bottom to the top. And we're looking at a target of approximately, so we're looking at the 38% level and the 50% level and the 23% level, I guess you could say. So that would be, the first one would be 1.8 trillion, that red line. And then you got this like greenish yellow line at .17 line. That's the 38% level. And then we got the 50% level at 1.59 trillion. So let's say we break below this trend line right here. We'll be watching this chart. And then when we hit like, let's say 50%, then I think we can start reevaluating on what's going on. We might be in another downtrend. It's possible that we go down. It's possible that we get support and go up. I am not 100% sure. I'm watching this trend line until I start getting more worried and start looking at these targets and basically doing the Fibonacci retracement on all the coins. It's possible that we break this line and it's too late. By the time you do the Fibonacci retracement, your favorite coins have already gotten whatchamacallit. So like I said, dollar cost averaging in and out in general is not a bad idea. It's pretty common strategy. So yeah, if we go back to Dogecoin, let's go to the Dogecoin dominance real quick. That's another thing I wanted to check out before we go. All right, so we had like I said, this was a new chart for me too. I never really seen this. It's a triangle pattern. We had a downtrend, something like this. However, we had this big, huge uptrend right here. Boom. And back here, boom, meaning Dogecoin was dominant in the crypto market. So yeah, we had this big, huge uptrend. Now it's trending down. We had this big, huge downtrend. We were watching that trend line. It broke out of it. Let's see if we could keep this momentum going. This is why we watched the trend line. We broke this trend line right here. Gave us like a pretty good signal. Still doing good. Let's see if we could bounce on this trend line though. If it breaks below it, then we know that we might have to come down and retest that 180 moving average on the 4-hour, or maybe we can watch the daily time frame and see what that's doing. It looks like it's going in and out of it. So let's go to the weekly time frame. And okay, so let's watch this time frame. This is actually more important anyways. If we go to the weekly time frame, we broke above this 9 moving average right here. And let's see if we can hold support above it. This is going to be a kind of a good signal. Whether if we break below it, then we're going to have to read. It's going to be one of those things where we weren't really able to stay above it and kind of keep running really hardcore, and at least Dogecoin won't be dominant. So we might have to look at other charts like the Ethereum dominance, or maybe even the Bitcoin dominance. And Bitcoin dominance has been looking kind of interesting. We're getting to these lows that I've been looking at for a while now. If we go to the weekly time frame, so this is like a big time frame, we had this big huge triangle right here. We got a breakout to the downside, and I was saying let's watch these support levels over here, these green horizontal lines, because we had support right there and right there. That's where we got those bounces going to the upside. We also had a support right there and support right there pretty much. But I was watching this trend going down and saying let's watch these green lines. We actually got a little bit of support going to the upside right here, but it looks like we broke that trend line going to the downside. What I'm curious is, are we going to come down and hit these green lines? Are we going to continue this trend where we got the alts are still doing better than Bitcoin, and then we hit this green line? I'm looking basically for us to hit this green line, and then Bitcoin might be taking over and start to like bounce back. Looking for bounces on these green lines, possibly for Bitcoin to start taking over again, because Bitcoin's has not been the king for all this time right here. It's not been dominating. It's been going down, the dominance. So yeah, and Ethereum has been looking pretty good in general. Let's go to Ethereum real quick just to get a quick look at it. If we go to like, this is the weekly time frame, and we're getting a downtrend right now, but in general it's looking like it's trending up. In general, it's a good uptrend. That looks like an uptrend to me. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. If we go back to Dogecoin real quick and take a look at this, I'll be looking at these levels, 0.29, 0.27. I'm not selling all my Doge or anything. I took a little bit of profits in this area. Now I already set limit orders a long time ago. I even set a limit order at this red one, the yellow one, and then the green one. So just dollar cost averaging in general. I'm not too crazy about these orders or anything like that. It's really more about learning and trying to watch these trends and see if we could take profits at certain levels and then kind of level up and just do it little by little, pretty much is the way I'm kind of doing it. But yeah, all right, if you guys like this video, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if you want to keep up to date. And one more thing, if you want me to do custom videos for you, I just set up my Patreon. I'm also offering one-on-one consultation. We could do it through Skype, and we could do a screen share. We could either do like a coaching session, or we could look at charts and you could just ask me questions. Check out my Patreon for more details. I think it'd be a cool way to do a little crash course on technical analysis.